Hey, welcome. So in this explainer, we're going to move beyond the initial setup and actually get our hands dirty with Vistalyn. We're going to cover all the essential workflows you need for populating and managing your entity and connection catalogs. Let's just jump right in.
Okay, so you've already done the hard part, right? You've built your catalogs. This guide is all about that crucial next step: how to fill them up, manage them, and really master that data so you can get the most out of it. First things first, we've got to cover the absolute basics, the core workflow. We're talking about how to add new entries and, just as importantly, how to keep all your existing information fresh and up to date.
Adding a new entry is super simple, really just a three-step process. First, you open up your catalog. Then, you're going to look for that blue plus icon in the toolbar. Give that a click. A little dialog box will pop right up, all ready for you to fill in the details. Easy as that.
Now here's one key difference you got to remember. For an entity catalog, like a list of your applications, the name field is absolutely required. But for a connection catalog, the most important thing is defining that relationship. So you have to fill out the from and to fields. That's the whole point of a connection, right?
When it's time to edit, you've actually got two great options, and knowing which one to use will make you way more efficient. So if you just need to fix a quick typo or change one little value, just double-click the cell for an inline edit. But if you're updating a whole bunch of info for a single server or application, go ahead and click that little pencil icon for the full row edit. It's just so much cleaner for bigger updates.
And as you're making those edits, you'll notice the system's kind of helping you out to make sure the data stays accurate. You'll be working with normal text fields, of course, but also predefined drop-down lists for consistency, and these really handy date pickers that stop you from making formatting mistakes.
Okay, let's get into something a little more powerful. Basic data is great and all, but the real value here comes when you start tailoring the catalog to your organization's specific needs. So let's talk about adding custom fields.
The process is just as easy as adding data. You click Add Field in the toolbar. Now, the most important step here is choosing the correct data type. This is what decides what kind of information that field will accept. And here's a little pro tip for you. If you pick List, you can define your own drop-down options just by typing them out, separated by commas. It's an awesome way to standardize your data.
So let's quickly break down what these data types actually mean. String is just for text. Integer is for whole numbers, so no decimals. Date is, well, pretty self-explanatory, and list, like we just talked about, gives you that controlled set of choices. Trust me, choosing the right type from the get-go is going to save you a ton of headaches down the road.
Okay, and this is a really, really important point. When you add a custom field, you're not just adding a column to a spreadsheet. No way. You are actively modifying your organization's underlying data structure, the meta model, right from the catalog. That is so powerful. It's direct, and it means your changes are instantly part of your architecture framework.
All right, so now that you know how to add and customize your data, how do you actually find what you need when the catalog gets huge? Well, this is where mastering filters and sorting becomes your superpower.
Applying a filter couldn't be easier. Just click that little filter icon in whatever column header you want to search, type in what you're looking for, and Vistalyn handles the rest. And here's a great visual cue. You'll always know a filter is active because you'll see these little indicators in both the toolbar and the column header itself. So no more guessing if you're seeing the whole picture or not.
So here's a classic situation for pretty much any enterprise architect, right? Your boss comes over and asks for a report on all the applications that don't have an owner assigned. How do you find those instantly?
The answer is this one simple, powerful keyword. You just go to the Owner Columns filter and you type blank. That's it. You now have a perfect, precise list of every single entry that needs your attention. And you can take this even further. The blank keyword is your best friend for finding empty cells. But what if you want the exact opposite? Just add not. Typing not blank will instantly show you everything that does have a value. It's such a simple way to flip any filter on its head, and it's incredibly useful for checking your data quality.
Sorting is just as easy, seriously. You just click any column header and it'll cycle through ascending order, descending order, and then back to the default. It's just a really quick way to organize your view on the fly.
All right, for our last section, let's talk about managing data at scale. Because let's be real, manually entering hundreds of items is not a good use of your time. This is why the import and export features are absolutely essential.
Right there in your toolbar, you'll find the options to export your current catalog view straight to Excel or import data from an Excel file. It's basically a two-click process that connects your architecture repository to, well, the most common data tool on the entire planet.
And this is why it really matters. Need to update the status of 200 applications at once? Just export, use Excel's find and replace, and then re-import. Boom, done. Need to get data from a subject matter expert who doesn't even use Vistalyn? No problem, send them the Excel file. It's also perfect for migrating data from old systems or creating quick shareable reports for your stakeholders. This feature is a massive, massive workflow accelerator.
So there you have it. That's the complete workflow for adding, editing, customizing, and managing your catalog data. You have all the tools you need to bring some incredible clarity to your enterprise architecture. So the only question left is, what are you going to clarify first?